Dan Rather was one of the most respected and recognizable figures in American journalism, a man whose calm authority and credibility defined an era of television news. So when reports surfaced that he was instantly kicked out after a single incident, the media world was stunned. According to insiders, the moment unfolded suddenly and without warning, catching even Rather himself off guard. What made the situation so shocking was that it didn't involve a long build-up of controversy. It was one decision, one confrontation, that triggered an immediate and irreversible response. For someone who had spent decades earning trust and respect, the speed and severity of the fallout were almost unheard of. Sources familiar with the incident say the tension had been quietly brewing beneath the surface for some time. Dan Rather was known for his uncompromising standards, his refusal to soften facts, and his willingness to challenge authority, even within his own network. On that day, those qualities collided with corporate pressure, internal politics, and a breaking point that no one publicly acknowledged until it was too late. When the moment came, Rather reportedly stood his ground, refusing to back down or retract his position. Within hours, the consequences became clear: doors closed, meetings ended abruptly, and his presence was no longer welcome. What followed was silence, both from Rather and from those who had pushed him out. Behind the scenes, colleagues were said to be divided, with some believing the decision was long overdue, while others felt a line had been crossed by removing a journalist whose career had been built on integrity and independence. Rather himself later hinted that the incident wasn't about one mistake, but about a clash between journalism and corporate image. To him, being kicked out wasn't a humiliation, it was the cost of refusing to compromise his principles at a moment when doing so would have been easier. In the end, Dan Rather's sudden removal became a symbol of a larger shift in the media world. It marked the moment when traditional journalism collided head-on with modern power structures, leaving little room for dissent, even from legends. While the incident may have ended one chapter of his career, it also cemented his reputation as someone willing to lose everything rather than surrender his values. And that's why, years later, people still talk about the moment Dan Rather was instantly kicked out, not as a scandal, but as a turning point that revealed just how high the price of truth can be.